Okay, now that we've done the balance sheet, we've done adjusting entries at this point, and we've done the income statement, and then we did a statement of stockholders' equity, which is the next step before we prepare a balance sheet, because we use some of the things on the statement of stockholders' equity for a balance sheet. Now the next step is to prepare closing entries for the end of the fiscal period. Now, in the sole proprietorship, I taught you to go in the order of closing your temporary accounts, dies going backwards. So you start off with your sales or your revenue, and then you go to your expenses, then you go to your net income or net loss, you update your equity accounts. In the sole proprietorship, it was capital, and then you close your drawing. Okay, so it's similar here, but we have a few other accounts. So they tell you to close in the order of close your income statement credit accounts, which are your revenue and any other credit balances that you have in your income statement. Then you close your income statement debit columns, which are your expenses and all of that, and anything else that's in the debit column in the income statement. And then you update your dividends, which is or your net income or net loss to your retained earnings account. And then you close out your dividends account, or in a sole proprietorship it was drawing. Okay, so this is the order that we do it here. Again, kind of dice going backwards, except for we have a little bit different way of thinking about it. We have 4 closing entries: income statement with credit balances, revenue, and contra cost accounts. Then you have a closing entry for income statements with debit balances, costs, contra accounts, and expense accounts. And then you have your closing entry to record net income or net loss to your retained earnings, or update your net income, and then a closing to the dividends account. So we use an account called income summary. It's a temporary account used to close your accounts, and it will close itself out along the way. So in Chapter 8, we talked about permanent accounts and temporary accounts. Permanent accounts are also called real accounts, they call it. And those include asset, liability, and as well as the owner's capital accounts. And temporary accounts are also referred to as nominal accounts. Include revenue, cost, expense, and dividend accounts. You're just using them to keep track for the fiscal period of that. Another temporary account used to close the revenue, cost, and expenses is income summary, because it's used to summarize information about the net income at the end of the fiscal period to help prepare us for that. Income summary does not have a normal balance side, neither debit nor credit. Whatever happens, you post to that account. And it's not an income account, really. It's just used to close your temporary accounts. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this here. See if this loads. Alright, so they give you an income statement and the statement of stockholders' equity and a balance sheet. We have the Superior Corporation still. Okay, so remember that we're going to first post our revenue or income statement credit columns, okay? So we're going to post, to close that, because they have credit balances, we need to debit them, okay? So we have date, which would be the end of the year. We're journalizing them now. So we're going to debit sales. the 505,897 here. So whatever their balances are at the end of the fiscal period, we're gonna so these two have debit balances on your adjusted trial balance. So we're not going to debit them now. We're not closing them yet. Those will close when we do the next closing entry. Merchandise inventory is an asset, so it's not there. So purchases has a debit balance, but these two contra accounts have credit balances. Purchases discount, and then purchases returns. The other one that's on here that we have to look for is interest income as a temporary account also. It has a credit balance, so we're going to have to debit that. I didn't put the other ones in here yet. So purchases discount. Is 737. And purchases allowance, returns allowance has 196.1. Okay, and so because those are all debits, we're going to credit income summary. And we've got to add those up to get the total. So we'll add those up and then come back. Okay, so those are the income statement credit accounts. So the first step is just to record and journalize the closing entry for those accounts. So let's grade that and see how we did. Alright, so we're good there. The next step is to post the ones that have debit balances on the income statement. So let's go to the income statement. And we're going to go December 31st again. Okay, so if those have, we're closing the ones that have debit balances, so we need to, the credit then is going to be the income summary here. So we're not going to list that one first, in other words. Yeah. We're going to credit all of the other ones. You're going to do the balance opposite what we have. We already did close sales. We already closed these two have debit balances because they're contra accounts. So to close them, we're going to need to credit them. So we're going to do sales discount. And that is 41313.55. And then we're going to close sales returns and allowances. And let me get that balance here. 447,181. Okay, so and then Purchases discount we already closed, those have credits, so we debited them. And then all of these expense accounts have debit balances, so we're going to credit them and close them here. And move those down here. So we need to plug these in. Okay, so plug the rest of these expenses in with their balances. And then come back. Okay, so that was a lot of expenses and things. Federal income tax expense, don't forget that one. It's $19,879.69. Now, remember, the reason that you're doing this is because you want to get all these accounts ready for the next fiscal period. So, we know that this is the total operating expenses that included all of these, all the operating expenses. So what I'm going to do is take that total and add in there the other two accounts that I added in there, which was sales discount, sales returns, and the federal income tax expense to get a total here. So I'm going to do that, come back. Okay, so then what you're going to do, don't forget purchases here. Purchases has a normal debit balance, so you're going to credit that account. So then if you add all of those up, that comes up to be $429,376.63 is the total of all of the credit balances that have debits. So you're going to credit them to close them, and then debit income summary. Okay, so then we're going to go on to the next step, which is updating your net income or net loss to your retained earnings account. Okay, so we had, if you look on your income statement, the net income after federal income tax was $73,148.80, so we made money. Retained earnings, just like capital, has a credit balance, so we're going to add to it because we made money. And then you will debit income summary, and what this will do when you post this will be two things. It'll close income summary, and then it'll update your retained earnings account with how much you've added there. Okay, so December 31st, we're going to debit income summary. And credit retained earnings. Okay, so that'll update your retained earnings account with your net income that you made. Okay, now one way to check this before you get to this point is to make sure that your income summary account should be the balance right now in your income summary account between your income statement credit or debit accounts, and your credit account should be the balance of how much you made. Okay, then the last step, like I said, is to close the dividends account. So we're closing the order of dies going backwards. So we're going to go to 31st. Dividends has a debit balance, so we're going to credit that. So we are going to debit income summary. And then just looking at the balance of our adjusted trial balance, so what we had in dividends. Okay, so then we're going to update our close out our dividends account then